Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Um, I know it's been a long time, and I'm sorry for that. 2020 has been a terrible year. You know, I know. We could totally get into all of the logistics of that, and perhaps we will on a live, but the reason why I wanted to make this video today is because I'm done with this shitty year. I want to move forward into 2021 with some new goals, some new plans, and really just to focus on my YouTube channel and being more consistent with content. So, with all of that being said, this is my game plan. At the end of the day, my favorite thing in the world is Halloween. So I love the costumes. I love trick-or-treaters. I love decorating. I love all of it. I love spooky stuff. I love horror movies. I love the paranormal. I like things that happen that you can't quite explain. I like ghost hunting, all of that stuff. So, with that being said, I really got inspired by a makeup artist named Robert Welsh. So that's what he does primarily, but he started really just telling scary stories. Some were his own, some his viewers had sent him. And I liked that concept because I personally have had some weird stuff happen, right? But I would love to know what you've had happen as well. So that's really where I'm going to start with this. So what I wanted to do today really is kind of share a paranormal experience I had that really has resonated with me throughout the years. And what I would love is if you have experienced something, I would love for you to tell me your story and share it with me. So I'm going to provide an email below of where you can send me those stories if you have any that you would like to share. So with all of that being said, let me go ahead and kind of set the stage. So I grew up in a country farm town, basically. It was very small. I went to an elementary school that was K through 8th grade, no junior high, okay? Now, with all of that being said, my class was very small. It was 4 girls, basically, and that was it. And thankfully, we were all pretty kind, and so we were all friends, which was very cool. So there was this chick named Diane who was a year older than us, who we just thought was so cool. Like, her nose was pierced, and anyway, she was pretty cool. So she invited us all to a slumber party, which we were very into. It was like, yes, we will go. And so it was, kind of like your typical Saturday night, a bunch of girls slumber party shenanigans. Like we ate pizza and watched scary movies. And after a couple, she was like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, my house is haunted, right? And we had no idea. We're like, what do you mean it's haunted? And she's like, oh no, there's definitely something here. Like, I don't know what it is. But weird stuff happens, like cupboards open and close, drawers open and close. You hear knocking sounds, that kind of thing. And so we're all thoroughly freaked out and we're like, what is it? And she's like, I have an idea. Why don't we break out? I have a Ouija board. Why don't we break it out and let's see if we can find out what it is? And so we are like, okay. A part of me was like, I don't want to do this, but another part was like, she's so cool, I'm going to do this anyway, kind of thing, right? So she breaks out the Ouija board, and this thing was old. She no longer had the planchette. What we used was literally like a shot glass, but a little bigger, and like the bottom was thicker, right? So you could still see through it, but not quite like a typical drinking glass. Anyway, and so we proceed to start using this Ouija board, and where things kind of got weird. So at first nothing was happening, and Diane was like, is someone here? And that thing moved to yes. And I swear to God, when that happened, it was like a breeze rolled through the room, and it was a cold breeze, and I could feel like the hair on my arms stand up, and I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? And then she asked, are you a person? And it moved to no, and I'm like, oh hell no, that means it's a demon. We need to stop this right now. And she goes, Are you good? And it moved away from no and went back to no. And I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I went to get up and she was like, don't leave. We have to end it if we're going to end it. And she's like, okay, so let's move it to end the session. And this thing, instead of allowing us to do that, you know how not end, it was goodbye. You move it to goodbye to like end the interaction. So we go to move it to goodbye. And if one of these girls did this, they gave no indication. Literally, this glass, which was fairly heavy, flew off the board, across the room, hit the wall, shattered into a million pieces. We all collectively screamed at the top of our lungs. I have never in my life been more scared than in that moment, but I was going to discover that I could be more scared than that. So her mom comes in and like, what the heck's going on, right? There's glass everywhere. And her mom was pissed that we had the Ouija board out. She's like, I told you not to mess with this thing, blah, blah, blah. I don't know the whole story there because I never got into it further after this experience. But anyway, so we clean up the glass and we're trying to like calm down. And her mom goes, just go for a walk, chill out. So we walk down this country road. It's, fairly late, probably about 9-ish, right? But it's the country and it's a Saturday and whatever. And then the most freakiest thing, I should say one of the most freakiest things I've ever experienced happened to me. So we're walking down this country road and just whatever, being stupid, teenagers. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see a shadow. And at first I was like, I thought I saw it move and I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I turned to look and what I thought I saw was the shadow of like a big black dog. And it like lunged forward. When it did that, I screamed. I stopped and I screamed and everyone around me was like, what? And I'm like, do you guys not see that? Do you not see the shadow there? And they all look and they're like, no. So we move closer and I don't know what happened, but it was gone. It was gone like it was never there. And, my heart is racing 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I've never seen anything like that since. But I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just my imagination going crazy, play of the light, all that stuff, right? I am dying to know what you think. What do you think I saw? Do you think it was a big black dog? I'm like hellhound, right? Knowing what I know now about paranormal stuff, I'm like, that was a fucking hellhound. It had to be. Because I'm 99% sure that whatever was in her house was demonic. I mean, the way it reacted with the glass and all that stuff. Anyway, totally scary, totally not okay. And that the feeling of all of that still resonates with me to this day. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think. Give me your thoughts, share with me. And what I would also love is if you've had a paranormal experience, I want you to share your story with me because I would love to share it. Did you experience something similar? Or even if you didn't, and it doesn't even have to be paranormal, but something just weird that you can't explain, I would love to know what that is. So I'm going to leave a link below for the email address I want you to send it to. Please send it to me because I want to know if anyone's experienced something similar, what it was, if you know what it was, or anything of that sort. So definitely leave a comment, let me know. And yeah, until next time, guys, stay spooky. Ooh.